welcome to Midnight Slumber. I am your host, Zach Miller. Join me as we take a journey through the alternate realities that take place after midnight. A quick announcement. We have made a short web series for the spooky month of October. Check out our show, Mini Horror Stories, on YouTube. It's under the channel Miller Media, LLC. We hope you enjoy this fun series that my friend and I have made. Also, enjoy this suspenseful story called Scientific Mistake. A large metal door towers before me. Red lights illuminate the rusted hallway as I gaze upon this monstrosity. Massive iron and black metal rods brace this door against the thick rusted walls. Various sizes of pipes run along the ceiling. They are coming from every direction, leading to this door. The pipes bypass the door and enter into the room behind it. A thick metal wraps around these pipes, preventing even insects from getting into the next room. Robotic soldiers the size of semi-trucks stand on each side of the door. They are holding no guns of any kind, as they are the weapons guarding this door. They watch me intensely, studying my every breath. I imagine they are even monitoring my heart rate and the amount of metal that is on me. A small security box by the door lights up and beeps at me. A hologram pops up, buzzing angrily. It changes from a blue box to the shape of a hand, indicating I need to place mine there. I slowly put my palm against it, and the blue hand quickly engulfs mine, working its way across my whole body. Once I am fully engulfed, the blue hologram jumps back to the box and disappears. A strange combination of sound echoes in the hall, followed by the red lights flashing to green. Mechanisms of all kinds bang and clatter just to unlock and move this door. A stream of cool air releases into the hall as the door slowly opens. As the door comes to a rest, I cautiously make my way into the small room. This room is yellow with plastic lining everything. Vents line the edges of the ceiling and the center of the floor. I step in, and the large door rapidly shuts behind me as soon as I reach the middle. A screen from behind the plastic lights up, and a man in a yellow suit speaks to me.
Please, hold out your arms, and when I count down to 1, hold your breath. 3.
My mind races with ideas as to what is about to happen.
2.
I lift my arms, worried and fearful.
1.
My mouth closes, and so do my eyes. A blast of warm air flows over my body, lifting and blowing my clothes all around. After about 5 seconds of this intense wind, it stops. The man in the suit speaks again.
All done. You may proceed.
The plastic in front of me pulls back just wide enough for me to walk through. I go through this small tunnel made of the same yellow plastic that's in the room. As I travel down, I see sparks of blue lights flashing ahead. The tunnel is only about 20 feet in length, so it doesn't take long to travel through, but it is unnerving to where this is leading. As I step out from the tunnel, I step into a massive room that's 3 stories tall. Black wires hang from the ceiling, intertwining and traveling to an infinite number of places. Some small blue lights run beside some cables, showing data moving back and forth from their destinations. As I continue onward, I see a vast hourglass-shaped mainframe. It's 20 feet wide at the base and goes from the floor to the ceiling. The lighting in here is very dim, so it's hard to make out what all the buttons and labels say. But it is made of the best materials, as the casing is made of a high-grade metal. It's probably classified and built by the military, as it looks to be designed to withstand gunfire and explosions. I slowly make my way around it, studying the lights and screens which are displaying messages in multiple languages. One message pops up and says, Experiment 772, functioning and dangerous. proceed with caution. After that, it flashes the same message multiple times in every language possible. I move on, wondering what this experiment 772 is, but my thoughts go blank as I notice what is on the other side of this mainframe. Hundreds of other mainframes similar to this one span throughout this massive room. As I walk past each one, they all display messages about different experiments that are going on. Some say their experiment is complete, and others say not to continue, as they are too dangerous. I round one, only to see another with a yellow glow behind it, and I find a room with a giant glass window letting in this yellow light. As I approach, the door next to it slides open. A man in a yellow suit steps out and waves for me to come in. I do as requested, and he takes me down a set of narrow and steep stairs. This yellow room has cameras everywhere, and heavy machine guns mounted to the walls. I look back up the stairwell at the door I just walked through, and I see a set of railguns and lasers aimed at the stairs. Whatever is down here, they don't want it to get out. We reach the bottom, where metal grates are covering the floor. I can see something below the floor, but I can't tell what it is. However, I know it's mechanical. We continue until we reach another group of scientists, all dressed in identical yellow suits. They are gathered around a large tube filled with yellow liquid. As we approach the scientists, they begin to speak to the man leading me in a language I don't understand. After a moment of deliberation, they seem to agree upon something. The man who is escorting me turns back towards me to speak.
Please, come here. We would like you to evaluate our specimen, but please, do not touch the glass. We do not want to wake it.
The scientists slowly step aside, making a path for me to see what is in this giant tube. One of them puts their hands on my shoulder, stopping me just before I can see what's inside. The woman inside the suit speaks.
Understand you don't have to do this. What you're about to see, you can never unsee. It will change you.
I pause, taking in her words, knowing that this thing is beyond any of us. I genuinely contemplate what they are asking, but I realize it has to be done at some point. I nod, letting her know I have heard her, and proceed. I step forward to witness what is in this tube. And to be honest, I wish I hadn't. What I can only begin to describe as horror and terror lies within this yellow fluid. The being that lays inside this vessel is massive. Everything in me tells me to run, to flee, to take back the last few seconds of my life so that I may not have witnessed the existence of this creature. I am frozen in fear, but this creature senses me. I can feel it. It slowly shifts, and then lets out a roar or a cry that chills me and everyone in this room to our bones. Warning sirens begin to ring out. Lights now flash between red and yellow. I hear the scientists saying there is a breach in the next room. A door I hadn't even noticed flings open, and scientists in blue uniforms come rushing towards us, telling us to run. Behind them, I see the mangled faces of anger and hunger rushing and overwhelming them. They fall to the ground as they are tackled by these people whose flesh is rotting from their bones. They shout,
Look at what you've done to us.
As they tear the scientists limb from limb before they set their sights on us. The guns in the ceiling begin to fire at them, but the bullets just pass through. I take off running back towards the stairwell. I can hear the scientists behind me get grabbed and torn apart, but I keep moving. I make it to the grated floor when the gas begins to seep up from below. No one is intended to leave this room. I make it to the stairs just before the gas reaches my face. I can hear bodies dropping behind me. The gas seems to be slowing and stopping these mangled people. But as I reach the top of the stairs, I hear the worst noise possible. The glass from the tube shatters, and the creature cries out once again. The door and window begin to close. I jump through just in time as the door slams shut. The scientists who spoke to me made it out as well. We all look back at the door and window, which both are now sealed shut. None of us speak. We only listen to the muffled sirens and gunfire. The mainframes around us begin to blare warning sounds and flashing lights. Each is now flashing red. The entire complex has been breached. We all run, and I follow them, hoping they will lead me to a safe exit out of here. Thank you for listening to tonight's episode. Please leave a comment and check out our social media on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. We would love to hear your thoughts of tonight's episode. I'm your host, Zach Miller, and thanks for listening. Have a good midnight slumber.